Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to our e-classes with Anju Sharma. Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to our e-classes with Anju Sharma. This is your English class. Students, today I am going to teach you chapter number 8 of your English literature book, New Mulberry. The name of the chapter is Christmas Morning, which is written by Louisa May Alcott. Students, this extract has been taken out from a famous novel, Little Women. The author of this chapter, Louisa May Alcott, was an American novelist and poet. Little Women is set in her own hometown and is based on her experience of growing up with three sisters. Many small events that take place in the book are also taken from things that actually happened in the family. The characters of this story are Mrs. March, her four daughters named Jo, Beth, Meg and Amy, Mrs. Hannah, their maid, Mrs.Hummel, their neighbor, and an unknown boy. Our author plays the role of Jo in this story. Children, I think all of you are very familiar with the word Christmas, the festival of joy and happiness. Students, as we know, Christmas is celebrated in many countries all over the world. You also celebrate Christmas as a grand celebration in your school. But this year, due to COVID-19, we are at home and won't celebrate as we used to celebrate every year. On this day, people greet each other, cut cakes, sing Christmas carols, and exchange gifts, and so on. And on this day, children hung Christmas stockings for getting gifts from Santa Claus. You know, Christmas stockings? Well, they believe that Santa Claus will come and keep gifts for them in it on Christmas Eve. I hope it is quite clear to you the meaning of Christmas. Students, you all are having your English Mulberry book with you. Children, open your book at page number 107 so that you can understand the chapter easily. Starting with the background of chapter, which is given on page number 107. Although it is a tradition to exchange gifts for Christmas, Mrs. March had told her daughters that there would be no Christmas gifts for them as there was a shortage of money due to the ongoing war. However, she did promise that they would find a book each under their pillows. At first, the girls thought that Christmas would not be Christmas without presents and decided to buy themselves a gift each with their pocket money. Then they changed their minds and decided to each buy a gift for their mother. Marmy. Marmy means here mother. They are saying Marmy to their mother. Let us read story that describes Christmas morning at Mrs. March home. Students, as Mrs. March had already told her daughters that there would be no Christmas gifts this year as there is a shortage of money due to the ongoing war. And their father is also not with them. Students, you know what was their father? Their father was a chaplain. You know the meaning of chaplain? Chaplain means priest, but he was a war chaplain. War chaplain means wheresoever army goes, he also goes with the army. Their mother did promise that they would find a book under their pillows. The girls decided to buy themselves a gift each with their pocket money, and later on they changed their minds and decided to each buy a gift for their mother. Now students, let us proceed to the story starting with the first paragraph, but remember one thing, that in the end of every page you will see some word meanings, and also there would be some other words that you don't know the meaning of. With the help of dictionary, try to find the meaning of those words and note it down all the word meanings in your mulberry copy. Is it clear? In the end of every page you will see some word meanings, and also there would be some other words that you don't know the meaning of. With the help of dictionary, try to find the meanings of those words and note it down all the word meanings in your mulberry copy, mulberry notebook. Now see, come to the page number 107, first paragraph. Jo was the first to wake up in the grey dawn of Christmas morning. She remembered her mother's promise and, slipping her hand under her pillow, drew out a little crimson covered book. Crimson color with a crimson deep red in color. So here children, Jo was first who woke up early morning among all the sisters. She remembered that her mother promised her to see under their pillows they will get something. So she put her hands under her pillow and drew out a small book. It was in which color? Crimson color. What is the meaning of crimson? I have already explained you of crimson, deep red in color. And what was it? It was a small story book about the best life ever lived. Now see in your book. She woke Meg with a Merry Christmas and told her to see what was under her pillow. There was a green book with the same picture inside and a few words written by their mother, which made their one present very precious in their eyes. Presently, Beth and Amy also woke up and found their little book, one dove colored, the other blue. Means, here the explanation of these lines. Then Jo went to Meg and woke her up also with a Merry Christmas and told her to see what was under her pillow. She also found one book and her mother had written something on it. It was a precious gift for them. The color of her book was green. Beth and Amy also woke up and found their books, one dove color and the other what? Blue. Yes. Now see in your book. And all sat looking at and talking about them. while the east grew rosy with the coming day. Means after that all sisters sat and talking about the books which they have got from their mother as a precious gift. See children, on this page one question is also there. Where were the girls? Where were the girls? Well, the girls were in their home. Another question is also there. What time of day was it? It was early morning. It was early morning. And here 3 words are given here. While the east grew rosy. East grew rosy means, east means the direction of the sun. The sun always rises from the east. And grew means look too big. Rosy means beautiful. That can be realized that sun was high in the sky. Clear? Now come to next line, next paragraph. See in your book, same page at 107. Where is mother? Asked Meg, as she and Joe ran down to the kitchen to thank their mother for their gifts. Half an hour later, Meg and Joe ran down to the kitchen to thank their mother for their precious gifts. But they found their mother is not at home. Their mother is not at home. Now students, see page number 108. Some poor person came asking for help, said Hannah, and your ma went straight off to see what was needed. Here, Hannah, their maid. Children, you know who is Hannah? Hannah is a maid in this play, and they considered Hannah as their family member. So, Hannah, their maid, told, one poor boy came and your mother went to see what was needed. Hannah, their housekeeper, had lived with them since Meg was born and was now part of their family. Means they considered Hannah as their family member. Next, she will be back soon, I think. So fry your cakes and have everything ready, said Meg. Looking over the presents which were collected in a basket and kept under the sofa, ready to be presented to their mother at the proper time. So here in this paragraph, meanwhile Meg fried cake and they collected all the present in a basket and kept under a sofa. Jo was dancing about the room to take the first stiffness of her new slippers that she had got for their mother. Beth had marked a handkerchief for her and picked her beautiful rose from the garden, and Amy had bought her a little bottle of cologne. Cologne means type of perfume. So children, in this paragraph, all sisters were showing their excitement while they were having a conversation, and they were showing their excitement. Jo was dancing, Beth had marked a handkerchief, and Amy had bought a bottle of cologne. Cologne means, as I have explained you, a type of perfume. Means they showed only their excitement. Now come to next paragraph. There's mother. Hide the basket. Quick, cried Jo. As a door slammed, followed by footsteps in the hall, they quickly hid the basket under the sofa. Now student, can you tell me why was the basket hidden under the sofa? Well, because the girls wanted to give surprise to their mother. They kept their things ready and waiting for the mother. Suddenly, Joe exclaimed with a joy and informed all the sisters that mother has arrived, and they hid the basket under the sofa. Merry Christmas, Mommy. Thank you for our books. We read a few pages and mean to every day, they all said in chorus. Children, here chorus word is there. Which word means spoke all together? Which word? Which words mean spoke all together? Chorus. Yes. All the sisters thanked to their mother in chorus, which means they spoke all together. Now come to next paragraph. Merry Christmas, little daughters. I am glad you began reading at once and hope you will keep on reading. But I want to say one word before we sit down. Not far from here lives a poor woman, Mrs. Hummel, with a little newborn baby. 6 children are huddled into one bed to keep from freezing, for they have no fire. There is nothing to eat over there, and the oldest boy came to tell me they were hungry and cold. My girls, will you give them your breakfast as a Christmas present? Now in this paragraph, same moment, mother replied, Merry Christmas to her daughters. I am very happy to hear that you all are reading your books and hope you will keep on reading. But I wanted to say something before we sit down. Dear daughters, here nearby our house lives a poor lady, Mrs. Hummel. She has 6 children, among them one little newborn baby. This is a very poor family. All the children are sleeping in a one quilt. There was no fire to keep themselves warm. Nothing to eat over there. One of them came to tell me they are hungry. My dear girls, would you like to offer your breakfast to them as a Christmas present? Okay, now come to next paragraph. They were all unusually hungry, having waited nearly an hour, and for a minute no one spoke. Only a minute, and then Joe exclaimed, I am so glad you came before we began. Let us take our breakfast there. Now children, in this paragraph, after hearing their mother's words, these girls agreed to provide the help that poor family. Immediately, Joe exclaimed, I agreed to offer my breakfast. And Beth carried the things. Amy asked for muffin, which was her favorite dish. But she wanted to offer that also. And Meg was busy in covering the buckwheats. Children, you know what is buckwheats? Buckwheat is a kind of dish made with flour from the buckwheat plant. Now next is, I thought you would do so. I thought you would do so. I think these lines are left. May I go and help carry the things to the poor little children? Asked Beth eagerly. I shall take the muffins, added Amy, heroically giving up the article she most liked. Meg was already covering the buckwheats and piling the bread into big plate. That same thing I have explained you already. Means Beth carried the things. Amy asked for muffin while it was her favorite dish, and Meg was busy in covering the buckwheats. And I have already explained you buckwheats. Buckwheats is a kind of dish made with flour from the buckwheat plant. Clear? Now come to next paragraph. See in your book, same page 108. I thought you'd do it, said Mrs. March, smiling. You shall all go and help me, and when we come back, we'll have bread and milk for the breakfast. We'll have a nice dinner to make up for giving up our breakfast. In this paragraph, my dear daughters, I know you would do it happily. We'll all go and offer the things. When we come back, we'll have our breakfast of bread and milk, and then we'll have a nice dinner at night. Now come on page number 109. They were soon ready and the procession set out. Children, you know the meaning of procession? A group moving forward in an orderly manner for some purpose. So they were soon all ready and the procession set out. Walking through narrow street, they reached the bare room in which the Hummel family lived. It had broken windows, no fire, ragged clothes, a sick mother, a wailing baby, and a group of pale, hungry children cuddled under one old quilt, trying to keep warm. Oh, it is good. Angels come to us, said the poor woman, crying for joy. Now see, in this paragraph, now the procession set out. Here procession means group moving forward in an orderly manner for some purpose. Students, what was the purpose? Well, to help the poor family on the Christmas Eve. So, walking through narrow streets means their house was, where was Mrs. Hummel's house? Through the narrow street they reached their room in which the Hummel family lived. Now the procession reached at Mrs. Hummel's home. Mrs. Hummel's home. The condition of Mrs. Hummel's house was very critical. Why it was critical? It had broken windows, no fire, ragged bedcloths. Ragged means old and torn. Wailing child. Wailing child means here child was yelling or crying with grief or pain. Moreover, all the children were hungry and they were underneath the one such old blanket in order to keep themselves warm. Means all the 6 children were underneath one such old blanket in order to keep themselves warm. Children, do you know who all were the part of procession? Well, who were there? Jo, Meg, Beth, Amy, their mother, Mrs. March, and Mrs. Hannah, their maid. Who all were the part of the procession? Jo, Meg, Beth, Amy, their mother, Mrs. March, and Mrs. Hannah, their maid. Now see, on same page, next paragraph, funny angels in hoods and mittens. Do you know what is the meaning of hoods? Means the scarf which they wore here, scarf or caps you can say. And mittens means hand gloves. Funny angels in hoods and mittens, said Joe. And they all laughed together. In a few minutes, the room began to look happy and cheerful. Hannah, who had carried wood, made a fire and stopped up the broken panes with old newspaper. Mrs. March gave the mother tea and gruels. See children, here was one meaning was there, stopped up. What is the meaning of stopped up? Means covered. Tea and gruel. Tea and gruel is also given here. Gruel means tea and gruel. What do you mean by gruel? Gruel, a dish made by boiling any kind of grain with milk or water. So, and stopped up the broken panes with old newspaper. Mrs. March gave the mother tea and gruel and comforted her with promise for help. In the meantime, the girls spread the table, set the children round the fire and fed them like so many hungry birds. That is good, said the children as they ate and warmed their hands in front of the fire. So children, can you tell me why did Mrs. Hummel call the girls good angels? Because they took breakfast for the poor children. They took wood with them and made a fire. They used old newspapers to cover the broken window panes. Their mother made tea and gruels for Mrs. Hummel. Gruels, I have already explained you, a kind of dish made by boiling and kind of grain with milk and water. So, Joe said they were funny angels. Why? Because angels are not usually wearing hoods and mittens. So, that's why she asked the funny angels. Clear? Next paragraph on same page 109. That was a very happy breakfast for the March sisters, though they didn't get any of it. That's loving our neighbor better than ourselves. And I like it, said Meg. As they set out their presents while their mother was upstairs collecting clothes for the poor Hummels. She is coming. Strike up the march. Beth, open the door. Amy, 3 cheers for Mommy, cried Joe, dancing about while Meg went to conduct Mother to the seat of honor. Beth played a march on the piano. Amy threw open the door and Meg gave Mrs. March a grand escort to her seat. Mrs. March was both surprised and touched, and smiled with her eyes full of as she exclaimed her presents and read the little notes which accompanied them. So children, in this paragraph, that was a very happy breakfast for the March sisters, though they didn't get any of it. It is a common practice to think about one's own welfare before thinking about anyone else. Now one question arises here. Explain what Meg means by saying that's loving our neighbor better than ourselves. Here, Meg's comment means that by giving the hungry children their breakfast, the girls had put their neighbors' needs ahead of their own. Means they were very happy to help that family. In the end, the sisters decided to unfold the surprise to their mother. In this paragraph, in the end, the sisters decided to unfold the surprise to their mother. They decided to surprise her with the presents each one of them had brought for her. They opened the door for her and gave her the presents with all good feelings. She became emotional after seeing the kind gesture of her kids. Who became emotional? Mrs. March. Mrs. March became emotional after seeing the kind gesture of her kids and blessed all of them. Now see, come to page number 110. The slippers went on at once. A new handkerchief was slipped into her pocket, well scented with Amy's cologne. A rose was fastened in her hat, and a nice pair of gloves fitted perfectly. There was a good deal of laughing and talking in the simple way which makes these family festivals so pleasant. So sweet to remember long afterward. Here, all the girls included slippers, handkerchief, gloves, and so on were spread all around, and there was a feel of happiness on everyone's face. They laughed and celebrated with all true feelings. Here also they showed their excitement only. So they laughed and celebrated with all true feelings for each other like a happy family. This is how the story ends. Students, what is the theme or moral of the story? I hope all of you have listened the story sincerely. So students, what is the theme of the story? The theme of the story is the spirit of generosity and compassion for people. So we should celebrate the festival by spreading love and brotherhood. I hope all of you have understood the chapter very well. All the exercises of this chapter you will get in the PDF form in your school portal. Thank you, my dear students, for watching the video lesson till the end. Please, after watching the complete video, write your name, class and section in comment box. Bye children. Have a nice day.